Welcome back to TCB Team Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Busatel, along with my co-host,
Joe Busatel. How are you, everybody?
How you doing, Joe?
Good. How are you, Aaron?
Very good. Welcome back. Thank you guys again for joining us. This is our second week on TCB Team Thursdays, so I hope you enjoy. I have some more questions for you this week.
Sure. Absolutely.
Great. So you ready to jump in?
Yep.
Great. So my first question is, what can sellers do to get their home sold now and in the future?
Okay. That's a great question because, as you know, what's happening right now is that we're stuck at home.
Right.
So we can't go out. We can't show property. So what do we need to do in order for us to be able to make some money and be able to help these sellers? Because right now they need help. No matter what, there's still people out there that still want to sell their property, right? So what's important right now is for us to find unique ways where we can show. One of the great part is that these days you have videos. So you can actually do a video of the property and actually show it that way, put it online, and then shoot it out on Facebook. Facebook is fantastic. You can get so many response on Facebook, right? So it's very, very important to be able to do some videos. Now, what's great is they're allowing us to be able to go into the home. Either nobody's there, or if the owner lives there, can actually leave the room and actually let us videotape the apartment or the home itself and put it online. And then just shoot it out on Facebook, Twitter, whatever.
Or the MLS as
or
well.
Or MLS, anywhere you want to shoot it out, you can do that. So it's very important that we're able to do that now to be able to at least get some properties sold for these homeowners. Because no matter what, people still want to sell.
Right. These are in the category virtual open houses and virtual showings, right?
That's exactly. Virtual showings. So right now, we're still doing virtual showings, right? So it's going to be a little bit harder to make the sale. Why? Well, people sometimes want to see the house, right?
Of course. I mean, some pictures are kind of misleading, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they make them look so good, and then you walk into the home and it doesn't look as good, right? So most important thing that if you're going to do this, make sure you're doing it the right way, showing it the way it really looks, not enhance it. Make it look the way it really looks so people are not deceived and they're able to tell, hey, this is the type of home, maybe it's something that needs a little bit of work. That's okay.
Right, that's fine, yeah.
Right? So that's a great way. So now we have an opportunity to be able to go, a few minutes, go into the home, videotape the home, and then put it online and be able to make a sale. So, and a lot of people are getting good response on that. And
Definitely.
There's a lot of things that are actually going into contract right now because of that. Okay, so some people are going to be, well, I haven't seen it. It's only a video. You know, I want to see the property itself. How can I tell if it's in good condition?
Right.
But right now, that's where we're at. This is the world that we're in.
Right. Now, what can they do later on?
Well, later on, it's very important because as I told you last week, I think the prices are going to definitely start dropping. There's going to be buyers on the market. But what's going to happen is, how are you going to get your home sold? When I started in 95, it was kind of like what the market's going to be now, right? What's going to happen is you've got to stand out. So if you don't stand out, because you're going to have more competition. Like the last few years, we have a few homes on the market, and most people were overbidding. They were bidding and bidding. Why? There wasn't that many homes.
No, very small inventory.
And sellers got smart. They're saying, well, let's not flood the markets, because if we flood the market, what happens? Price is going to start coming down because then buyers have more choices. Mm-hmm. Now they're going to have no choice. They're going to have to sell the home if they really need to, right? Some people don't need to.
No, that's completely fine. If they just want to, they say, hey, listen, you know what, I think I'm going to keep it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And some people are going to do that too. They're going to change their mind. They're going to want to say, hey, I don't want to sell. I'm staying put. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with my job. Why am I going to change? I'm going to stay in the property that I'm in.
Especially if it's paid off.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But things are going to happen. And there was something on the news that was pretty funny. They say, what's going to happen during this time with all this going on? Either there's going to be a lot of babies that are made, or there's going to be a lot of divorces because you're stuck with your spouse for a month, right?
Right.
So these things are going to happen, okay? And sometimes because people have been passing away, you're going to have people that have passed away. It's handed down to the kids. Kids can no longer keep it or afford it. They're going to be calling people to sell the property. So unfortunately, that thing will happen too.
I mean, there's always going to be people that are going to have to sell. It's not, you know.
Right. And again, it's not, you know, you're not going to get 200 listings on one shot.
Of
right?
course.
You get as many as you can. And again, doing it the right way, telling people the right things and making sure you can get them the money that they need. But again, being very honest with them.
Yeah, be realistic.
Absolutely. One thing I've always done, I do not like to go into a listing appointment and take a listing to blow them away and say, I can get you $1 million. Well, you know you can only get 500,000. just to get that signature. That's not the way to do business. Okay? You want to be an agent who survives in this business, you have to tell people the truth.
Right.
Sometimes you got to walk away.
Of course.
Sometimes sellers not being realistic as far as the price.
I think that's the biggest drawback of the job. I feel like a lot of realtors, they kind of just take it because, you know, they're scared, especially if it's like you're a new realtor.
Right.
And it's your first listing.
And they say, at least I have something.
At least exactly.
I have something.
And they pray that they sell.
Yeah, exactly. You go to church, they say a few rosaries, hoping to God it sells. Right?
But that's also, in a sense, that's also bad. It's kind of like a domino effect, right? Because what happens then? It doesn't sell.
Right.
It expires. Now what happens? Now these sellers' expectations are so high. They're saying, well, you know, hey, Sam from A by C Realty told me I can get $1 million. When
Exactly.
You're coming in and it's only, hey, listen, 700,000.
Right.
But that's the real price.
Right.
That's the
Exactly.
problem.
And that's exactly what you should do.
Right.
Right? But most new agents are so scared. They're like, I'll take it. Hopefully it sells. Like I said, let me go to church and pray that it does sell. So then what's going to happen, like I said, the market's going to probably get flooded with there's going to be a lot of business, I believe.
Right.
Okay?
For realtors.
For realtors, yeah, I believe so. Because again, the thing that's going to happen again, they're going to need us again. They're going to need us to help them, right?
That was actually what I was going to ask you with what you could do for later on. Do you foresee a lot of for sale by owners, or is that kind of just
I think it's going to die down. I think it's going to be a lot of foreclosure, and also, again, short sales are going to come back. I think that's going to happen again with a lot of the short sales. So it's very important, again, when the market gets flooded, what is the thing you need to do to get your home sold? Because there's so many properties on the market, right? Like I said, in 95, that's how it was when I started. So what did we do differently to be able to sell those properties that there were like 100 properties of the same type of home, let's say one family? You've got to stand out. So how do you stand out? One thing you have to do is make your home look better than your neighbors, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe do some work in the house, maybe paint, rearrange the furniture, do things like that.
Anything to make it look like there's more space, I feel.
Absolutely, that's number one.
That's everybody goes to look for when they buy a house, right? Space.
Space.
Always space.
Yeah, you always wanna make sure there's enough space, people can walk around the house, right? So this way they feel like, wow, this is a big home, right? The other thing that's very important to do is make sure you make it look very bright. What do I mean by that? You're showing that property, make sure you turn all the lights on.
Open up all the shades.
If it's in morning, afternoon, night, whatever time, turn the shades. Put the shades up, turn all the lights on. Make sure people like happy homes. So it's very important how it shows.
Right. Only when there's sun, of course. If
there's no sun, just turn the lights on.
Just turn the lights on, yeah.
The other thing that I used to do in 95 was there was a thing called, you can buy an insurance for a home guarantee. And that was very popular in 95. There was a company out there that was actually doing that I worked for, that I used to sell a lot of these, right? You can either buy them yourself as an agent and give it to the buyer, right? And you're protecting the seller, or you can have the seller pay for it, okay? A home warranty. And what happens is most buyers are scared when they're buying a home. Even though they bring an engineer, engineer says, you know what? House is fantastic. You don't have to worry about this home.
Minor, a couple things.
Cosmetic
stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
But most people want to be guaranteed that their home is better than everybody else's, right? So if you get this warranty, it covers air conditioning, it covers heating, boilers, and everything else, right?
Wow.
So what happens if you give that guarantee to that person, say for 1 year, this home is going to be problem-free? I think a lot of these buyers are going to go for that, right?
Why? Course.
And what happens? Your neighbor doesn't have it. People on that block that have them on the market, they don't have that.
They don't have that.
So what do? You sell those contracts that actually guarantee the home to be in perfect condition for a whole year. That's going to make a difference.
Oh, definitely.
Okay? So I did that. I used to sell a lot of those homes, guarantees. So it's great. And also you can put a rider on your sign, on your for sale sign, that's going to stand out. Your neighbor's not going to have it. You will. Guess what? More people are going to come to your home because they know for 1 year, if anything breaks, guaranteed to get it fixed. If you have a hot water tank that breaks down, it's going to run you between $500 to $1,000, maybe more. Well, they'll fix it for $100. I think it maybe went up a little bit now, maybe 200, but it's not a big deal, right?
Right.
And it's guaranteed. So that's something that I believe people should do once this market turns and a lot of homes come on the market.
I see.
Okay.
Now let me ask you something now from the opposite end of the spectrum.
Sure.
working with buyers for now and future business.
Sure.
What do you think is going to happen? How should we approach that?
Okay, so right now it's a little bit tougher because we're not taking them out and showing them the property.
Right, everything's virtual.
Exactly. So, and most of the buyers that you're working with are probably going to be people that you've been already working with, right?
Of course.
So these people know you already, which is a good thing, right? Because people already know who you are. People already trust you, right? And people are going to listen to you. So I think right now, what we have to do, like I said, with the virtual tours and the virtual, the way you're going to see the home online mostly, right? The thing that you got to do right now is making sure that it's something that they like and that they can actually look at it online and make a decision. It's going to be, let me tell you, it's going to be much harder for buyers right now. Because most people, if I can't touch it, I can't feel it, I don't want it, right? That's how people feel.
Or basically, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, right? So it's very important. Right now, it's much tougher to make a sale because of that. Because like I know myself, if I'm looking to buy a home and I can't see it, I can't touch it, I can't feel it, it's going to be much harder for me to make a decision.
Right.
So the problem with that right now, again, still try, let the buyer put an offer in. You can always put it in hoping that it's going to take much longer to close, number one, right?
Right.
So what's going to happen is you can always put subject to you actually seeing the home once it goes into contract and before closing, or even before that, after this whole thing is over, hopefully it's done and they can actually go and view the property and get it inspected and things like that.
Right, of course.
So right now, a little bit tougher, but again, people are still making sales. Okay? And a lot of things are still going into contract. I think I looked something online the other day, and it said in our office we had over 128 properties that went into contract.
Wow.
So
people
are still making sales.
People are still,
right?
They're still getting out
And
there.
and later on, what you have to do, this is what's going to happen. Okay, with buyers, this is what I think is going to happen a lot, is they're going to start lowballing offers.
Yes.
Okay.
I foresee that as well. It doesn't
Absolutely.
seem,
Hey, can I get this? You're asking 7. Can I try 500,000? These things are going to happen.
Right.
But if you show that buyer that it's worth what it is, that's what the market is bearing right now. They have to understand that, because no seller is going to sell it at a discount rate, right?
Of course not.
If the bank says I can appraise this, and I think one of the smart things to do is get a pre-appraisal. Get appraised before, especially for sellers. Get appraised to get the value, what the bank is going to give you, okay? Because if it doesn't appraise, there's no sale.
Right, and it's also kind of a good way to, like what we discussed last week too, because it is going to be harder to get comps for houses.
Absolutely.
Getting a pre-appraisal, I think, is a definite in this market.
100%. That'll only cost you like about $250 to $500, but it's worth it. Because what happens is if you put it on the market and it's a number that nobody's going to pay, but then you do find a buyer that can pay that property, right, the price of the property, what's going to happen? Bank's going to come back and say, hey, guess what? You're asking 7, it only appraised for 500,000. You think that buyer's going to buy? He's going to walk away. So you're going to lose time. And some people can afford to lose the time.
Of course not.
So what they need to do, get a pre-appraisal. Get an appraisal to go there and actually do the appraisal of the property before you even put it on the market. A lot of these agents, like ourselves, we have people that we know can actually get it appraised.
Right, right.
And get the value. And what's going to happen, they're going to be in touch with their bank, and the bank's going to say, hey, the way it's going right now, prices have come down 10%, 20%, whatever it is. Then the seller's going to get a realistic number of what he can put on the market.
It levels out expectation for
100%.
the sellers. Yeah, I
100%.
agree with that. Now, also actually leading into working with buyers, now what's going on with Chase? Because I know it's so much harder now for a buyer to get pre-qualified.
Absolutely, and it's funny, we spoke about this last week a little bit.
Yeah, we
I had a little bit kind of crystal ball to kind of tell people what's going to happen, and it did happen already. So what happened with Chase, actually, Chase will not give you a loan unless you have a 700 credit score, and you have to put down 20%. So forget your 5%, 3%, 10% buyers. Chase is only doing business with people that have 20% down, right? 20% down basically is also good to do because why? You're not paying any PMI. So that was news today that came in that Chase has changed what they were doing before because Chase was doing every loan.
Right. Now it's going to get more stingy with the market. I mean,
absolutely.
So many people have lost their jobs. It's,
Yeah, and banks don't want to take a risk where they're going to have to foreclose on so many properties. They want to make sure. Well, the one thing, when somebody puts 20% down, right? what happens is when they're putting 20% down, there's less of a risk for the bank.
Right.
Yeah, if you're putting 20% down of let's say a 500,000 home, that's $100,000. Okay, so nobody's going to walk away from $100,000.
Right. No.
Right. So banks are saying, hey, let's be secure about the loans that we're going to give out and make sure that these people are going to keep these loans and not walk away from it.
Right.
So it's really important to do that. So, again, it's changing, already happening. This is one bank, and I'm positive a lot of other banks are going to do the same thing. I wonder if Fannie Mae is going to change also. Because Fannie Mae does a lot of 3% loans.
Yes.
3.5%, 5% loans.
I mean, I think this is also probably, most likely will hurt a lot of investors as well because they always like to put down the bare minimum.
Yeah, they do. They do a lot
yeah.
of times because a lot of investors are buying many properties, right?
So, yeah.
And especially now when the market's changing and prices are dropping, what's going to happen? Investors are going to buy portfolios. They're going to buy a lot of properties.
But now, that's the thing. I don't think they're going to be able to get the pre-qualification if they're going for that.
Probably some of them, the ones that have a lot of money,
yeah, they'll have to come
they're
up.
probably
Yeah.
they're probably going to pay cash.
Most
right?
likely, yeah. I mean, that's eliminating.
But they're not going to be able to buy portfolios. They're going to be able to buy 20 homes or 30 homes.
Right.
Unless they got millions and millions, and some of them do.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
some investors do. So it depends. And again, but those are not the ones we got to worry about. We got to worry about the regular public who need to buy a home.
Right. Right. Of course.
Like investors are investors. They're always going to be here.
Yeah.
They're always going to have money.
Exactly.
Right? That's not the people we need to worry about. We need to help the people, the small people that have the 20% down, the 10% down. And again, there's other banks that are doing less than 20% down, but Chase just changed. So these are things that are happening right now. And I think as we get more into the summer, I think more changes are going to happen.
Right.
As of I think right now they're looking to restart the economy. They're saying if we're going to stay the way we are right now, they're probably going to need another $4 trillion to keep stimulating the economy. So things like this are happening. And this is all on the news, right? So the important thing right now is don't panic. Again, stay home, okay? The important thing is to make sure that you're being treated the right way and making sure you're getting the right information. That's number one.
Yeah.
Okay? But what I'm going to go back to is with sellers, get a pre-appraisal. Get a guy to appraise your property to see what the banks are willing to give now.
Right.
Because it's going to be harder to get that loan. And you don't want to waste your time by saying, I want $1 million. And then all of a sudden the bank comes back after you go into contract and you can only get $500,000 or $700,000. Avoid that, because what happens? Buyers not going to overpay, right? Especially now, because there's not much money right now, right?
Right.
So many people lost their jobs, and a lot of loans are dying.
Yeah,
Why?
definitely.
Yeah, because of this. So I think it's really, really important that we need to be careful what we're doing, and we need to stay in people's faces again. Make sure you come from contribution, like we said last week.
Yes.
You're willing to help people. Still call up, see how they're doing. People are going to be there. And when you do the right thing and you do what you need to do to help people, people are going to remember that. Okay? So it's very important. So one other thing I want to talk about now, talking a little bit about agents. What are you guys doing at home, right?
Right.
Some of us are working out. Some of us are watching different shows. So, you want to spend your time doing something.
Being productive.
Being productive. One thing that we do, and I do, when we get up in the morning, we take a shower, we kind of like start doing our work, just like if we were in the office. It's important to think that way, right?
Right.
I mean, we don't dress like this.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
I mean, I want to, but I think it's ridiculous with just me being in the home, right? So I think what's important right now is kind of have a routine of what you should be doing, right?
Of course.
So one of the things that when I started in this business, it was a book that I read, and this is good for both when you're dealing with sellers and we're dealing with buyers, right? There's a book, I'm going to turn this around and I hope you can see this, and it's called The Little Book of Selling.
The Little Red Book, yeah.
The Little Red Book of Selling, okay? I think this thing came in here. Okay, there you go. I don't know if you guys can see that.
It's a little bit hard. Let's see.
Okay,
There you go.
I think a little bit better like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
you can zoom in.
Yep. Here,
And-
what we'll do is we'll even bring it up a
even in
little bit
front.
more.
Yeah, that's fine.
There you go.
So this is a book, and it was written by Jeffrey Gutterman, right? And you can find it on Google, and you can find it
You can find
Amazon.
it on Amazon. Yes.
and you can get it for like when I bought the one I bought one that was already used.
Ah, okay.
So I got it for $3.99. Actually, the shipping was more than the book. I don't know how many times I read this book. It really is the little red book. It's about this big. It only has about, I think it's less than 100 pages. And it has pictures in it and things like that. And actually has like, it describes to you what you need to do. This was written, I believe, in 1964. And this person was not a real estate person. This person was actually a salesman, a car salesman. Okay? And he wrote a book, How to Make Sales. And it's an excellent book. Like I said, if you're not doing anything, order this on Amazon. And you can get it for $3, $3.99 used. You can probably even pick it up used ones, probably for $1 or $2, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is a book you should be reading, right? You can start practicing some of those things, and it's really important to have things to do on a daily basis, right?
I see. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it even says it's how to make sales forever. So that's
Exactly.
I mean, if that doesn't entice you to read it, especially in our industry, you know, that is something I think that is a must to do, and it's also being productive with your time.
100%. 100%. And I want to talk to you a little bit, Aaron, because I know you're
Sure.
very good with videos. You're very good with these type of things.
Right.
And what would you suggest to these agents out there,
Right.
and also homeowners? What should they do in order for them to get their home exposed, more exposure to their home?
Well, definitely do videos. I mean, if you get a listing, this is for realtors out there. I think definitely putting videos together of you walking through the home. I mean, it doesn't even have to be anything big. It's just you walking through the home, talking about the property itself, just being active on social media, because that is something that is it's untouched in our industry. I mean, not a lot of realtors do that. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of experienced realtors that, you know, they've been in the business for years. They just, you know, they're not that they don't like change. It's just that their routine does not have any time for it. But I think it's such a big thing to do.
100%.
I mean, you know, going out there, putting videos together. I mean, it's not hard, especially if you have, you know, you're the type of person that's tech savvy, that has, you know, a MacBook or whatever it is. I mean, I edit all of our videos on my MacBook. I mean, I have iMovie. I put everything together. It's such an untapped market for us realtors. I mean, even homeowners, consumers that are looking to sell, put a video together. I know, obviously, you guys are very inclined on putting it up on, you know, Zillow, Trulia, For Sale by Owner, whatever it is, the website is. But it's also good to have a virtual tour yourself. I mean, you don't even have to be in the video sometimes if you don't feel like you're camera shy. Just put a video together of a slideshow. I mean, of the
Exactly.
home that you have for sale. Anything that you can do to get your name out there and get your face out there, if you do decide to stand in front of the camera,
Right.
is a big thing to help your business bloom. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, especially since you're branded. I mean, you know, we have a website, you know, that we built on Squarespace.com. It was so cheap to do. I mean, it was like $225 for the year, but it was so easy. I mean, they gave us a template. I put it together. I built it with it. I think it took me an hour to build. We also have a Facebook page. It's TCB Team at Keller Williams Landmark 2. That we have also, and we also have a Gmail that we also have connected to get, you know, just in case if people have any inquiries about our properties or like to ask us any type of question. I mean, on our website, tcbteamkw.com, people can ask us as well. And it's already linked to our email, tcbteamkw@gmail.com, where they can send us this information. I mean, that's a big thing. Video marketing is huge.
And it's funny that you say that, because I'm not really tech savvy. But I've done videos myself. You can do it right on your phone, right? Right off the phone. I mean, I even know how to upload,
Right.
which is strange for me because I'm not, you know, it's funny because I come from a background where I actually worked in computers for about 18 years. But it's not hard at all.
No,
And once
no.
you have the video, you can upload it to Facebook, you can upload it to YouTube.
Right. Here's another thing you said as well.
Sure.
You said you're not that tech savvy. Pretty sure a lot of people out there have kids,
Right.
or maybe even
Exactly.
friends that are tech savvy.
Yep.
Hey, what's the harm in asking? Hey, do you mind doing me a favor? Can you upload this video?
Exactly.
Give them a little something. You know, hey, bake them cookies, whatever it is that you do. You know, as long as it's something that you show like, listen, you know, if you help me out here, I have no problem helping you out, whatever it is.
Exactly.
That's important too. I mean,
Yep.
there's always people out there that can help you.
Yep,
And, you know,
absolutely.
So there's no excuse that you can't do this.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And so we're doing, these things every Thursday and sending out these videos, giving you more information.
Right.
Now, what we like you to do, if you have questions that or something you want us to talk about, you can always reach us. You can actually email us. What's our email, Aaron?
tcbteamkw@gmail.com.
Right, and you can either call me or Aaron. My number is 917-771-3109.
You can call me at 347-239-0935.
And you can reach us that way. Any questions, you can actually either email us, text us, or call us.
And we'll put them in the videos and answer them right here.
We'll answer the questions right away.
Sure.
Make
sure you subscribe to us on YouTube also.
Yes.
Our videos will be going up on YouTube. You'll see it. It's going to be attached to our Facebook page. So you can just click on the video that's uploaded, and then it'll take you to YouTube. Subscribe. If you like these videos, you can and make sure you click the notification bell so you know when we upload.
Right, exactly.
Which will be every Thursday.
Every Thursday. So every Thursday we'll put it out there. Again, questions, homeowners, buyers, you have questions, we will answer your questions. Whatever it is that you need, we're going to definitely answer your questions.
Right.
Agents, the same thing. You need anything, you want to find out something. I had a call yesterday, as a matter of fact, from an agent, and she was very worried about what's going on. She had no business going on at all. And my main thing is, again, she's been in the business for about 5 years. I said, go to your database. Buyers that you've been working with, call them. Keep them abreast on what's going on so they know exactly what she needed to do. But she was really worried about the market. And again, market shifting. Market's been changing for about 6 months to a year now.
Right.
So it's not new. It's not as bad as it is now, right? But again, I always tell agents, I always tell everybody, market is between right here, your temples. That's where the market is. If you think it's bad, it will be bad. If you think it's good, it's good.
It's going to be good, yeah.
For 25 years, I've never had a slow week or a slow month. Why? Because I'm always doing things. So you've got to do something every single day.
Make sure to have a great attitude also. Because like they say, right, whatever you project out in the universe, it comes back and
Absolutely.
it shows. So if you think you're not going to have business, most likely you won't.
You won't. Exactly.
Take it a day at a time.
Yep.
That's the way to do it.
What goes around, as they say, comes around, right?
Right.
So do the right thing. Again, stay safe, stay home.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, sanitize, do whatever you need to do. Wear a mask.
Yes, and gloves when you go out.
And gloves. And now Governor Cuomo said that everybody has to wear a mask now.
Right, yes.
If they see anybody without a mask, I think there's a fine now. And I agree with that 100%.
Definitely.
So be safe, be careful,
and
take
just
care.
Stay home and be kind to each other.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing.
We will see you next time.
Take care, guys.
Have a great day. Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.